This is exercise 5.2, configuring a VPN server, found in Supporting Windows 8.1 Lab Manual, part of the Microsoft Official Academic Course in preparation for exam 70-688. In this exercise, we're going to configure server 2 to be a VPN server so users can connect to it over an insecure network. The mindset behind this is that after you install routing remote access, you must then configure routing remote settings to support the VPN connections. So we're going to get started by going back into server 2, which we already have open from the last exercise. And we are going to right-click on the network status and go into Open Network and Sharing Center. And then we're going to click on Change Adapter Settings. And here we have Ethernet 3 and Ethernet 4. Now Ethernet 3 is going to be our internal, so I'm going to rename this internal switch, and I'm going to rename this one the external switch. Now the lab wants us to just call this internal, and you can call this internal. I just called it switch, and while I was naming it, I went ahead and I changed both. Now we're going to right-click on the external and go into Properties. And click on IPv4 and then Properties. And we want to assign it the IP address of 192.168.2.1. Then tab, let it default to the subnet mask. And then we're going to leave the preferred DNS server blank. And then click on OK. We're going to close the network connections and then close Network and Sharing Center. Now we want to go to our server manager and go into Tools. And then select Routing and Remote Access. Alright, then we're going to right-click Server 2 and configure and enable routing and remote access. On the welcome page, we're going to click on Next. On the configuration page, we're going to select Virtual Private Network Access and NAT. And then Next. On the VPN connection page, we're going to select External Switch. And then Next. And then we want to choose from a specified range of addresses. And then Next. And then New. Here we're going to type in 192.168.135. Oops. I'm sorry, 30. Tab, and then 192.168.1.35. And then tab. And then we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And then Next. On the Managing Multiple Remote Access Servers, we're going to click on Next. On completing the Routing and Remote Access Server Wizard page, we're going to select Finish. When we're prompted to open a port of the routing remote access in Windows Firewall, we're going to click on OK. I'm going to pause this while it waits to process. Okay, from here we're going to go ahead and click on our Start button, go into Administrative Tools, and scroll down to Windows Firewall with Advanced Security and double click. And then we want to select Properties. And in the Windows Firewall with Advanced Security on Local Computer dialog box, with the Domain Profile tab selected, we want to change Firewall state to Off. So Domain Profile, we'll change the Firewall state to Off. On the Private Profile tab, and Public Profile tab, we want to change it to Off as well. And then click on OK to close the dialog box. And we want to go back to the routing and remote access window, which is right here. And we want to expand Server 02, which I already have, and then right-click Ports and go into Properties. The Ports Properties dialog box appears. By default, how many IKEv2 connections are available? Okay, and then we'll click on OK. Now we're going to go over to the RWDC01. And we're already, oops. You can log back in. And here I want to go into Tools and then Active Directory Users and Computers. And then I want to expand Contoso. And then I'll single click on Users. And then double click the administrator account. We're going to click on the Dial In tab. What is the default setting for the network access permission? And here we're going to allow access. And if you're following along in your lab manual and you're required to do so, this would be where you take your next screenshot. And now we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And we're going to leave everything else open for the next exercise. And this is the end of this exercise and the end of this video. The next video we'll go over exercise 5.3, configuring a VPN